Hi guys. I trust you're well. This is not the first time I would think of this matter. It's been on my mind for a little bit, and it's absolutely not a new subject matter. It's been around for a little bit, but for some reason it's been on my mind for a couple of days, and I just thought it was good enough that we can share it on this forum. So before we begin, click on like, click on subscribe, click on share with anybody else that you like. And as we go along, if you have questions or comments, you can put them in the comment section. So yeah, I have seen the photo before, but on this particular day I was just listening to a podcast. I didn't see the picture. It's the picture of Brosnan from maybe about 20 or 30 years ago, I suppose, back when he was acting James Bond, and his wife. I don't remember her name. I'll put it down on the screen. And both of them looking young, suave, well dressed, and all that. And then there's another picture. Apparently, I've seen the picture before, but I didn't see it recently. But I've seen the picture before, a couple of years back, of him and his wife. But now they are much older, obviously. Even Brosnan is not looking as young as he used to be as 007, but now, even now with wrinkles and, certain parts of his body sagging and all that, he's older, but he's aging with grace. I imagine, certainly the way he's looking, he's pushing 70. I don't know his age, and I don't really particularly care, per se. I'm a fan. I'm a huge fan of Brosnan, but I'm just not following anybody that closely. But then his wife is looking a lot plumpier. She's bigger. It's a beautiful thing to see that the two of them in a place like Hollywood, where marriages generally don't last. Or should I say in a place or in a system like Hollywood, where marriages generally don't last. It is a beautiful thing to see a couple still together through thick and thin, still loving each other, still married. It's a beautiful thing. It's a lovely thought. But what I want to draw attention to, which I found interesting, is his wife's stature. How her body has changed over the years. And I heard on the podcast I was listening to, and I can't find it, so I won't be able to put the link here, but on the podcast I was listening to, there was talk about a lot of people giving her grief, yapping her, talking, I don't know, backlash? Yeah, that's what they call it these days. About her having put on so much weight, and him, yes, if I vaguely recall now, it may have had something to do with this Red Pill Society thing. I suppose something that this lady, I don't remember her name, the lady who is kind of like championing the Red Pill thing, who talks a lot about men marrying and women not marrying, that, or whatever. We could probably get into it. But more precisely though, there is this question, the backlash that she was getting, about how the man can get anybody he wants or anybody he likes, and he's with her, and he has kept himself, but she has not kept herself. I found it absolutely distasteful, and I'll just get into my own points. If other things come in the company, what's my own point? For me, what I see is that when we are young, when we meet our wives, they are also young, they are shapely. I would dare to use the word supple. They have beautiful bodies that capture our imagination and make us want to have them. In addition to, of course, if you're a Christian, you don't want to be equally yoked, obviously. You want to be spiritually led, absolutely. But I'm talking about the physical aspect now. Our wives are beautiful when we are young. But after we've been married for a few years, after we've been intimate multiple times, after our wives have had multiple children, after they have raised those children, after they have gone through the pain of childbirth multiple times, they have breastfed babies, and those babies are now growing up into teenagers and adults, after our wives have had to deal with all kinds of emotional stresses, maybe when we are ill and they are taking care of us, maybe when children are sick and they are taking care of them, maybe when they are stressing to get to work, to come back home, to contribute, to cook your food, and to can still keep your bed warm at night, after they've had to deal with what they call postpartum depression, the woman is now older, 10, 15, 20, 30 years older, and she doesn't look the way she looked when she was 20, 25. And you as a man cannot look at that woman and appreciate that where she is in this life at this point is the result of what you have put in her life. Is the result of her having come into your life and contributed to what God has intended to do with your life. And you now want to look down on this woman and judge her and blame her for not being as pretty and shapely as she was 20 and 30 years ago. Shame on you as a man. Shame on you. The fact that you wanted to have sex today and today she's just a little tired from having cooked your dinner, from having taken care of your kids, from having listened to you rant and rave about everything you've had to deal with, and tonight she just doesn't feel like having sex. Or, I mean, excuse me? Excuse me? What are you talking about? Listen, the Bible puts it this way. It says, we are heirs together of the grace of life. Let me add a few more passages to that. It says, he who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from God. There is a favor from God. I don't need to be preaching stuff that we preach every time we are getting married, but I'll say it anyway. There's a favor from God that enters into your life when your woman comes into your life. The favor of God was not there before. There may have been another favor, but the one that comes with a wife was not there until the wife came. So that woman brought that favor into your life. Number one. Number two, the Bible says the woman is the glory of the man. There is a glory that comes into your life as a man when you have a woman that is your own. Oh, let me move forward. It says two are better than one because they have a good reward for their labor. Are you kidding me right now? There is a good reward for your labor. There's a way that God benefits your home, your family. There's a way you get brand new ideas when you have a woman to support you. I can give you examples to that in that regard. I'll even talk about it. Give me a second. There was a man years ago. If he sees this, thank God. He was finished. Business had fallen apart. He couldn't pay his rent. He was taken to court. I mean, it was bad. And he approached me, he needed help. I could only do so much. But I had an opportunity to speak with his wife. So I called her beautiful woman. And I asked her, madam, do you love your husband? I'm talking about 15 years ago, probably 10, 15 years ago. Madam, do you love this man? She said, I love my husband. And I was like, listen, I'm not asking a rhetorical question. I'm not asking you a question just for you to say yes and no, whatever, just to give me, platitudes. Do you love this man? Do you really love this man? She said, yes. I said, if you love him, when you get home tonight, put the kids away, make sure they are sleeping in a different room. Then come back and make love to your husband. Make love to this man like it is the end of your life. Like there's no tomorrow. Give him the best sex he has ever had in his life. And when you are done, say nothing. Put your head on his chest and go to sleep. Now, I can't be sure now, it's been a few years, if it was the very next day or 2 days later. I think it was the next day, but I'm not sure. This man calls me like, hello sir, I have this brilliant idea. I want to do this, I want to do this. And he was gone. He was gone for about 2 years. When he returned, the man had a business and the business was doing okay. Shortly after that, They started building a house. Shortly after, I think they bought a car. Shortly after that, they had another baby. What am I trying to say? Listen, every family goes through problems. But I'm trying to say that I showed this woman that in what her husband was going through, the best solution was for her to show that she loved him, that she trusted him, and that she's not judging him for everything that was going wrong. And that was what the symbolism of that sexual encounter that night I encouraged, and the outcome. That was the point behind it. And it triggered something in the man's mind, and the man became a businessman. And now they've obviously still had their ups and downs, but they have finished their own house, they have their kids, they are growing. It's a beautiful thing. What am I trying to say? There is something, it's an anecdote, yes, but I can pick example after example. There is something that happens in a man's life when a woman comes into it. There is a grace of life that you cannot access unless you access it together, according to the word of God in 1 Peter chapter 3 verse 7, I believe. Chapter 3 verse 7. So where am I going with this? Don't be stupid to think that you are that much better than your wife. You're not better, you're just different. Yes, you are the head and she's the body. Yes, she carries your name. That's all true. Yes, you are the one that God has given a mission and a purpose, and her purpose is to help and support you. But my brother, if one leg is taken away from the stool you are sitting on, you are going down. If the body is taken away from the head cannot function. The whole body works together to achieve the purpose of God. The reason God has brought you together is to achieve his purpose, and you could not have done it without her. Otherwise, you never needed her. So, the fact that her body changed, or she has a bad mood one day, you don't get to judge this woman harshly. You need to appreciate this woman for what God has done in her life, with her life, in yours. And you need to appreciate God for what God is doing with you. And that's it. I don't want to talk too long or talk much more about this. You have to understand this. What that woman looks like, where she is right now in her life, everything that is going on with her, you are the one that did it to her. Appreciate her for it and help her to be better. That's your own duty. Jesus Christ, after all, gave his own life for his bride. Have you given yours for yours? Let me stop there. God bless you. Thank you for watching. Ask a question, leave a comment, share, like, subscribe, the whole 9 yards. Thank you for watching. God bless you. Have a wonderful day.